Hey guys, it's Jimmy Bremner and Dexter, the boy, here. Urban Trail, CTOA, and this is number 100 on our Urban Trail installments. So reached a milestone here on this beautiful Easter weekend. Hope you've had a great weekend with your family. So, a couple of videos ago I called them common sense and what I see, and I don't know if I want to do another common sense installment, but I'm just going to call it what I see. So we all like to watch YouTube and things like that, and you see people doing different things on YouTube. The other day I saw a guy batoning a Swiss Army knife, not understanding that in the very least. And then I see a lot of these videos where I'm going to take $100 and I'm going to go into like a Harbor Freight, a dollar store, a Walmart, what have you, something like that, right? And see what kind of survival gear I can get for $100. And they come out with $100 of offshore junk. And it's not going to help you in the least. If you manage to get together $100, and that's a lot of money nowadays, the thing you want to spend the majority of that money on is a good cutting tool, okay, a good knife. And really, if you watch around and listen to what people are saying on these types of videos, you can get a substantial quality cutting tool. You take a Mora, you're under $20. It's not a full tang. Like I say, never say never, never say always. I don't baton knives, but that said, if they're under $20, they'll last you a lifetime. And if you spend a little bit more, you can get a better Mora. And then you should probably have a backup. And I'm always going to default to a Swiss Army or a Leatherman, okay, and probably the Leatherman Wave. There's actually some pretty competitive offshore copies of Leatherman Wave now with good steel. They look identical. If they weren't marked, you wouldn't know. And again, they're in the $20 to $30 range. But you need a fixed blade, and then you need a backup to that. So again, for me, my Russell's knife, this is a quality tool that will last forever. It's not tactical. I can hand this down to my kids. It has a beautiful leather sheath. These have been proven for decades by our Canadian paratroopers. They're fantastic fixed blade knives, and they're built specifically for survival. Okay, they're built for skinning and meal prep and just general duty sort of camp utility type thing. And they're just a fantastic knife. They are a full tang. Again, in terms of a locking blade folder, you got to go with your buck knife, buck 110. Again, quality, been around for 60 years now. You can't go wrong with tools like this. And again, if you take care of them, you'll hand them down to your kids. This junk that people are buying, at these outlet type places, it's total junk. And in fact, you'll probably get hurt using it because they're gimmicks. Okay, they look like a hatchet, they look like a machete, they look like a some kind of tactical folder thing with a glass breaker and a seatbelt cutter. When in your life are you going to break glass and cut a seatbelt? When's that going to happen? I was a master breacher. Done it maybe, in 30 years, maybe 7 times, and probably 4 of those are, in training. So I'm not getting this push to buy more and more junk all the time. The world has really become cheapened, And when I travel in Europe, it's so refreshing to see artisans and, knives and firearms made with craftsmanship and, nice, beautiful antler, stag handles and bone handles and it's head and tails above this junk that we're consuming here endlessly. I'm going to show you, and you'd be better off to go to a yard sale with your $100 or a thrift store. This knife is what was issued to British troops in the Second World War. This knife was made in the 40s, okay, around 1939 to 41, and it was issued and it was used in the war, okay? It has a marlin spike on it. It has an old style can opener, okay? It's a different type. This thing is carbon steel. It's razor sharp to this day. Has a big bail on it so you can sterilize it in boiling water. The bolsters are still rock solid. You're not going to get, it doesn't have a window breaker on it. So, I just look around and the difference between, old school and nowadays, I got to be honest with you, I find it a little, brings me down a little bit. So, again, like if you've got $100 and you're looking for gear, the places you want to go, like say, yard sale, like Salvation Army thrift store or Army surplus. That's where you're going to get the most for that money. And you want to spend a bit more, again, on your cutting tools than the other things. Probably, recently I got this kukri from Nepal, and again, it's old world, right? It's nothing fancy, but I guarantee you it'll be around in 100 years. And if I needed this to double as a small hatchet, it'll do that. And again, it comes with eating utensils built into it as well. And again, this is around the $60 range, and I said it does kind of double duty. It's a it's a fixed blade full tang knife, but it actually again can function as a hatchet because the weight's forward on it. You can use it as a draw knife and for many other things, but you still need the smaller pocket knife for small things. And the only reason I say the Swiss Army is because it has some other functions on it, your can opener, bottle opener, that type of thing. And the same with the Leatherman Wave, right? It has those small things on it to help you with that day-to-day thing. As much as I love Swiss Army, I have to tell you, probably as a secondary, I probably go with the multi-tool plier-based, because you can use it for many things, bending wire, picking up, pots off the fire, things like that. The other thing they never get right is a water bottle and cup, canteen and cup. They never pick that up in these things. And they talk about, I got paracord. You're not getting paracord at Walmart okay, or some kind of Dollar General. You're not getting paracord. Don't bet your life on it. Okay, it looks like paracord, kind of, but it's not paracord. Okay, it's not 550 cord. It's not going to hold 550 pounds. There's no way, right? So it will suffice, again, for your ridge line and other utility things that you might need to tie down. It does a good job at that. Is it cheap? Yes, it is, but it's not the real thing. So as long as you understand that, and then fire making materials, get yourself a handful of Bic lighters, some tea candles. I know a lot of you guys, you don't like these magnesium blocks with the ferrocerium rod on the top. I don't particularly like them either. They do work, they do function, they're not going to last you forever, but they're really crazy and expensive at one of these, Walmarts or what have you. And then a decent IFAC that you can take care of an arterial bleed, something realistic. I'm not talking about a boo-boo kit. Boo-boos I can take care of with tape, okay, whether it's the Gorilla Tape, duct tape, electrical tape, hockey tape. I can deal with a boo-boo with that, so I don't need Band-Aids and that type of thing, right? So make sure that you've got a good IFAC with you. And then probably the final thing I'll say is in the back of this jacket, I have rain gear. I have my poncho, okay, and I can use that for cover. If you're, on one of those $100 challenges, just get a tarp, get a painter's tarp. You're like $10, and they're like 10 by 7, in the dimension. So that's, because the money is really hard to come by nowadays, and I hate to see people go in and buy all this junk. And like I said, you're more likely to hurt yourself with this garbage than it's going to help you survive. A painter's tarp is going to last you for years. I mean, I've got them in my truck. They're probably 15, 20 years old. They've got a couple holes in them, but I still, I'm still using them for everything under the sun, right? So let's try and move away from all of these silly notions and things like that, because when you really need to do something, you need the right equipment to accomplish the objective, and it's just going to get more frustrating the more you try and use this, these blister packs of survival gear. That'd kind of be an interesting video to do, to give this to people and actually see them try and make this stuff work. So that said, like I said, you get your 5 C's covered off. Your clothing. Another thing people don't purchase. I talk about clothing all the time when we get into the, how cold it gets here and how hot it gets here in Canada. But you need a base layer, so you need long underwear. Then you need another layer on top. I like Carhartt, okay, because it comes in different color and it doesn't, look like military stuff. And so I like Carhartt, and it's rugged gear. And then, if you were going to buy anything with that $100 like a Salvation Army, get a long wool coat, like a long wool dress coat, and that's like your wool blanket, right? And you need to watch things, even in the urban environment. You ask yourself, well, why do these, people that are homeless, and God bless them, they're homeless, and they wear all this clothing in the summertime. That's their shelter. That's how they get through the cold nights. That's what they do, right? And if you paid more attention to what they're doing, it would actually help you in terms of your own necessity and survival. If your car breaks down or stuck on the side of the road. I don't know what, the eventuality is, but a lot of things can be done very inexpensively. And, ramen noodles, what are they, like 4 for $1? It just, like I said, all of these things are kind of wearing me out, and I appreciate you listening. And so that's what I see, all right, this time around. And like I said, it's number 100, so I said, all you have to do is make a comment. It could be a good comment, it could be a bad comment, doesn't matter to me. Make a comment, and I'm giving away CTOA ball hats in coyote or black. The CTOA flashes, and they have Velcro, so they go on your shoulders if you wish, or on your bag as a morale patch. First 5 that come in, okay, good, bad, different, doesn't matter to me. I'll send you some swag. Of course, I'll need your address, your zip, your postal code, that type of thing. So that's Jimmy Bremner and Dexter the Boy on the Urban Trail. And from now on, I'm going to ask you to like, subscribe, notification button, and please follow myself and Dexter in our adventures this summer. We'll be doing some things in Northern Ontario, so looking forward to that. So, as always, number 100, thanks so much. Jimmy Bremner, CTOA, Dexter the Boy, Urban Trail, and we're out.